Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the Launch and Sell Challenge. I'm so excited. For the last day, I did just get off, fun fact, I did just get off of a live stream with the Unleash Mastermind that I'll tell you about later. So I've already been live streaming for an hour. Just took a quick 3-minute break and I'm back. Time for second live stream of the day. Hey, Jessica. Speaking of Unleash Mastermind. Cool. So I'm really excited for today. I definitely want to wait a minute for people to get on because it is our last day. I don't want anyone to miss a thing. I think today will be a little shorter than yesterday. Yesterday was well over an hour. I think because we had the issue where we had to start a new video and it was just a really big topic, really valuable topic too. So if you haven't watched day 2, go watch it. I'll remind you that again in a minute, but say hi if you're on, and if your name's not Jessica, because Jessica already said hi. And then I just dance in silence. I wish I was brave enough to turn on music on a live stream because it can kind of pass a little bit of time and get you pumped up, but I am not risking the live stream getting deleted. I see that happen to too many people. Although, I see a lot of people who do that and don't get it deleted, so it's erg. Hey, Adeline. Hope I got it right. I think you already told me that's how you say it, so I think I'm right. Cool. All right. Come on, people. Where are you? Gosh. Late. All right, I'm going to jump in, okay? Because we've got people here, so it's time to jump in. So, I'm Taylor Manning. You should know that. I have it in my notes to introduce myself, and I don't know why. If you are just watching this challenge or this live stream right now and you have no clue about the challenge, you haven't seen anything, you're not signed up, you don't have to sign up. It's a little too late, but the replays will be in here until tomorrow. So if you want to watch those, just scroll through the group. And you will find, so there's day 1, which was about the BS myths that you've been telling yourself, that other people have been telling you that are not true and are totally holding you back from hitting your launch goals. And then there is day 2, where there's 2 videos, 2 parts. The first one is about reverse engineering your launch. For some reason, I keep forgetting that. So reverse engineering your launch, making an exact plan to hit the goal that you have. Part 2 is all about my go-to launch calendar and launch strategies that I've used time and time again to have 5-figure launches, multiple 5-figure launches, fill out tons of offers. So really good stuff there. I would go watch that before it gets taken down tomorrow. Today is about selling. And I'm really excited to talk about selling because, believe it or not, selling was one of the hardest things for me to master, and it did take time. Now it comes really natural for me. Not all the time, though, not in all the ways. So the reason that it comes natural for me and that I'm able to do it every day is because I've found ways to sell that work for me, that feel good to me, right? I can't tell you how many sales calls I've done where I've been so nervous, totally broke a sweat, and just felt really uncomfortable and sleazy and awkward and blah, and so I've changed my sales strategies to really work for me. And so before we even get in, I want to give you permission to sell however you want to sell. Chill out. There's nothing that you have to do to sell. There's nothing you have to do to be an effective saleswoman. I'm going to tell you some things today that are going to help all your sales strategies become stronger, things that you just want to have prepared and be ready for. But there's no oh God, I just kicked this light hardcore. I've got to stop doing that. There's no one strategy that you have to do. If you don't want to email, if you don't want to post, if you don't want to live stream, if you don't want to do calls, if you don't want to do any of it, there's an issue, and it's probably fear. But if there's one of them that you're just I don't like that, then you can skip out on it. And in the future, maybe you'll outsource it. Maybe you won't. It doesn't matter. None of them are required. Oh my God. I just hardcore kicked that. I wish you can't. You guys are probably Taylor, what are you talking about? There's a big light in front of me, and I just kicked it, and it totally almost fell over, and then it came back at me, and then it stopped. I got really lucky. Okay. Edelyn says, don't do it, although there's always Creative Commons music or friends who would appreciate you sharing their stuff. And yep, you got my name right. Yay! I know. I'll just dance in silence all the time before we always get started. I'm trying to think. I wanted to share a little bit more about like my experience selling, but I know for me what was the hardest, to be honest, was sales calls were really scary. Live streaming was really scary, and video was really scary. I'm going to share something with you guys that I've shared in the group before. I've only shared this one time, and it was a long time ago. I'm going to share with you. Good question, Justine. Good to see you, by the way, too. I'm going to share with you guys a video that I did a long time ago, just so you guys are going to want to watch it now, I know, but save the link, okay? I'm going to put it in the chat. Hold on. It's going to take me one more second to find it. Okay, I'm going to mute my thing so you guys can't hear it yet. Okay. This was my old sales video. Some of you might actually watch that during this live stream because it's so funny to me. This was not a live stream, by the way, but still. Do you think it's best to learn to do things you hate or to outsource it? Good question. I think that outsourcing it, I actually think it's good to get rid of as many things that you think you're supposed to be doing as possible, and just like the least amount of things that you're doing in your business, the better, to be honest. But there are things you have to do. But it's like there's categories you have to fulfill, but there's nothing you have to do. You have to grow your leads, grow your community. You don't even have to have a community, to be honest, but you do need to have leads. For us, for this type of business, what works really well is to have a Facebook group or an email list or something like that. Some people don't even have that. Some people are just cold calling all day long and building one-on-one relationships. That works too. But you need to have leads / community. You need to nurture those leads or nurture that community. So that could be sending somebody an email and checking in on them, or on a community side of things, which is what I do, it could be showing up and doing a free challenge, a live stream, a post, whatever, right? You need to be selling, which could be any way that you want. You need to be working on all the funky stuff that goes on in your head, your mindset, and you need to be getting support, learning, mastering your skills. That could be a coach. It could be taking some courses. It could be reading. It could just be thinking about, okay, and it doesn't have to be doing more. That's the thing. If you have these things fulfilled, doesn't mean that you should take a course on Pinterest. It means that you can get better at your group that you already have, or better at your email list that you already have. It's in no way about doing, I really think it's hardly ever about doing more. It's about doing what you're already doing better. Unless you're one of those people that's still not doing anything, you know? And you know if that's you or not, right? You know if you're doing enough or not. Speaking to everybody, by the way. So it's like sales, if you have one or two ways that work really well for you for selling, or that you're committed to working on. So if you're like, I hate all sales. I don't want to email. I don't want to post. I don't want to live stream. I don't want to do video. I don't want to talk about my offer when I'm doing a Snapchat or a live stream story. I don't want to do webinars. I don't want to do sales calls. Like if that's where you're at, you just got to get over it. Like you've got to figure out some sales methods that work for you, right? I don't care if it's like sending postcards out in the mail or something. But you have to figure out like one or two really good solid sales strategies and just work them. Okay. If anybody watches that video, tell me. Okay. Not telling you guys to not pay attention to the challenge, but that's what I think about that. Outsourcing things, I think those 5 areas are really things that only you can do, or that you really do need to be doing yourself, typically. If you're the face of your business, right? Like if you're the face of your business and people are buying you, then you have to be building relationships with your leads. You have to be putting out content or nurturing those leads over time. You have to be you don't have to be selling, to be honest. I'm seeing some coaches and some really other cool businesses not do selling on their own. They're hiring it out. So I guess that's not really true. And then again, maybe even the mindset thing, you have to be doing it. The support thing and learning and getting better at things, I think probably you and your team should be doing that, you know? So sales is actually something that you can outsource now that I think about it. You don't really have to do any of the sales on your own. I don't do it that way. I don't know anybody who doesn't do any of their selling, because you are like a walking billboard as well. So you might as well sell. You know what I mean? You might as well do it right. Really good question though, and really good topic. So keep asking questions if you have them as we go, because today's stuff is pretty simple. And I'm going to put it all in the chat for you. It's really kind of going to act as like a cheat sheet. So I don't have a ton to say. So that's why questions will be really, really awesome, because we'll have plenty of time for them. So sales starts with the offer. Okay, so before we even think about doing calls and writing emails and sending, kind of kidding, kind of not, before we think about any of that, we want to think about the offer, okay? Before I look at Jessica's question, but I already read it, the thing that people do wrong with their offer is that they focus on what the program includes. You know what I mean? So they're like, I created this really cool coaching program that includes phone calls and email support, and people really don't, it's not gonna, here's the thing, it's not that they don't care, because they very well may want you to be their coach, but it does not click. When people are in buying mode, buying is a very emotional process. Like, it's emotional because we're fighting two things. We're fighting what we want. So it's like the desire of our heart, that beautiful necklace that we want that we've never spent so much on one, or like, I don't know, the new blow dryer, even though your other one still kind of works, it's just not that great. Like, it's such like a, it's like that, those are very, very materialistic small things, but it's even like whatever, right? Like, even if you're grocery shopping, it's like this desire of your heart of like what brand you actually want, or what food you're craving, or what food your body needs, or it's like buying a car. It's like, you know what I mean? The other thing that you're fighting though against that is the way that most of us have been raised or taught, and the way that most of society looks at money, of like, pinch your pennies. I was told that all the time. Pinch your pennies, budget, save as much as you can, spend as little as you can, you know, right? Like, it's just like this thing of like, I really want this, but I shouldn't. I really want this, but I shouldn't. I really want, if you have not ever been in that situation, I don't know if you're a real human. Because like, I think even people that have a lot of money go through that too. It's just that, it's like, it's the love, desire thing of things that we want, and then it's the fighting against not supposed to spend money, right? Really weird. So my point is even if someone loves you and they're like a hardcore follower, like even me, you will hardly ever catch me going out there and being like, spots open in my coaching, you know, you get 12 calls and email support, only a couple of spots left, message me. Always, 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 I'm actually speaking to them and like the desires of their heart. And it's like, I'll go deeper into this, guys, but me speaking this out loud is making me realize this might be the best way to say it. Your job is to really overcome that whole budgeting, pinching pennies, don't spend money kind of thing, because none of us are discount stores, right? The discount store's job is to be like, hey, over here, great news. You can buy the groceries that you need and still save money. You can buy this, like, it's like, this is like the clothing section of Walmart. You know that shirt you just saw at the mall that you didn't get because it was too expensive? We made the exact same one and it's like $5. Like, now you can buy it, right? Little yellow smiley balloons all over the place. I don't think any of us are discount coaches, discount stores, right? And if you want to be, that's fine, I guess. But most of us can't really survive that way, right? Like, we're just not Walmart or Save-A-Lot or whatever. So we have to outshine that society's standard of thinking of budget, 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 don't spend, don't splurge, don't whatever, pinch your pennies, right? And we have to really speak to the desires of their heart, what they want and what they need and where it's going to get them and what they're going to create and what they're going to do and what they're going to learn. And exactly what I'm about to tell you, right? The amount of calls in your program, unless you are strictly wanting to sell discount and you are wanting to focus on value, and this is okay, especially if you are selling products or whatever, and that's not who I help, so I'm not the expert here, but I want you to know if you want to choose that route, that's okay. But the fact is, hardly ever, unless they're a discount shopper, they are not going to choose your coaching program because it has more calls or things like that, right? They're going to choose it because you have results that they want. You're teaching things that they need to learn. You're speaking to them. You get them. You've been there. You've done that, right? Just something to keep in mind. It actually doesn't even matter how many calls you put in. It doesn't matter what kind of support's included. It doesn't matter how many bonus video trainings they get. Like, that's really cool extra, and they're going to want to know that eventually, but what's going to reel them in is the emotional stuff, because buying is emotional, right? I think it's just important to realize. Unless I'm crazy, because I'll be honest, I'm a very emotional buyer. Like, I go through a roller coaster of emotion. I'm just being honest, because it's still an everyday, like, process for me to get used to spending more money and doing things for myself that I normally don't do, like shopping at stores that I normally don't shop at, buying nicer computers than we ever bought growing up, because computers were something that was like such a pain in the ass to get as a kid. Keep in mind, we had computers when I was a kid. What else? Buying a car. When I got my car, I have a Buick Encore, and I got the nicest one, like the nice one with the nicer seats and the nicer features and the nicer radio and the nicer rims. And I really, really wanted that car, and I did the right thing, and I passed my car. I didn't even trade it in. I passed it down to my younger sister, which like melted my heart, made me feel like the best sister in the world. But like buying the car, it was like all in my head. Why do you have to get the nicer one? Why do you have to spend the extra like 5 figures? Why do you have to even get this car? Why don't you get a used car? Why don't you keep your old car? Blah, 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 right? It's always emotional. Does anyone else feel like that, or am I crazy? Okay. This strategy feels a little bit like making a college class schedule. You need basic English course, but it can be one of several choices. Yes. I didn't read that comment until just now, and that's like a really great way to think about it. That's actually genius, right? Okay, let's keep going. So here's the thing that your offers need, and I'll put them in the chat. This is what matters. Your posts, your emails, your live streams, your sales calls need to focus on this before anything else. Okay, a one-liner for your program. This mastermind is for women who want to blah, blah, blah. This mastermind is for fill in the blank, a really descriptive thing, who want to fill in the blank of their desires, right? Or this mastermind is for women who are struggling with this and want to be here. That's how I learned to do it. I don't always position it that way, but like, let me read it to you on my sales page. Ooh, let me turn on this one too. Let me open this one up too. The Unleash Mastermind, right? The mastermind, right? This is the one-liner. The mastermind for driven and ambitious millennial entrepreneur women. It's actually not for millennial entrepreneur women anymore. I need to change that. I'm glad I read this. The mastermind for driven and ambitious millennial entrepreneur women ready to live their full potential, ditch every single excuse, and increase their online business income massively. Right? Mental note, change, mastermind, one-liner. I love it. This was before my branding changed. Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat though anyway, because I think it's a good example. And then Six-Figure Ambition, my group program. Let me see if I can find that. Six-Figure Ambition, a 4-month group program to help ambitious women entrepreneurs take their online business to consistent 5 figures using the power of community, content, and drool-worthy offers, right? It's just very, very specific. Here's why you need this. Because anytime you promote it, you want to be able to say that or share that. Because one thing that I'll share with you a little bit later is one of my really big sales tips is whenever you're pitching anything, act as if they've never heard of it before. So today when I'm talking about Unleash Mastermind at the end, I'm going to act like you guys, and I'm just going to assume, because some of you haven't, right? Whether, I don't know if any of you on the live haven't, but maybe, and maybe on the replay, definitely on the replay, I'm sure, have not heard about it. I've only been shouting it from the rooftop all month long, but still, I'm going to tell you guys this one-liner. When I send the email today, I'm going to have this one-liner in it to introduce it. So my email might say, that's why I wanted to tell you about the Unleash Mastermind, the mastermind for driven and ambitious women who are ready to live to their full potential, blah, 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 right? Makes sense? That's the one-liner. Benefits, so that statement. So it's like, let me find them on here. Okay. Here's an example. A so that statement is when you say, I'll teach you how to grow your list so that you can make more sales from your email marketing. That's a really great formula to use if you're one of those people that's very guilty of being like, we're going to learn how to grow your list, how to use Facebook ads, how to sell. That's so boring. It's not what people want. It's what they need. It doesn't matter what they need. It's about what they want. It's about what they're going to cry over, what they're going to like, beg the credit card company for, beg their husband to let them get it, or whatever, right? It's the emotional piece of it. And it's the end result too, because especially with business coaching, which I know a lot of you are business coaches of some sort, but even if you're not, people want to buy the result. It's very, it's like in business, it's very ROI driven, or in health, it's very probably vanity or beauty driven, or whatever you want to call it. Not always, not everybody, and you don't have to sell that way. If your ideal client doesn't think that way, you still have to show the benefit. It might be a little bit different than what mine might be or someone else's might be, but do you get what I'm saying? It has to show the end result. It can't just be, I'm going to show you how to understand macros. It's like, I don't really want to understand macros. I don't really care about macros. I'm going to show you how to understand macros so you can eat all the food you want and still all the types of food that you want and still be able to lose weight. It's like, oh, okay, I'll pay for that. That sounds good. I want to be able to eat all the foods and lose weight. Like, you know what I mean? That's the difference, right? From I'll teach you how to understand macros to I'll teach you how to understand macros so you can eat all the types of food that you want and still lose the weight that you want to lose, if that's their thing, if that's their desire. Obviously, if their desire is not to do that, well, then that wouldn't work. But it's like my client that I talked to yesterday, she is a really awesome health coach, nutritionist. She's getting certified right now, and her focus is really not on weight loss. She's used food for things like digestion and clear skin and even anxiety and helping with her anxiety. And so her stuff's not going to be as vanity driven, and that's okay. When she's talking about clear skin, people are going to immediately know. She's not just going to say, I'm going to talk to you about how to eat the right vegetables for your body. It's like, I don't want to eat the right vegetables for my body. That's my problem. Like, I actually don't even want to do that. But then it's like, I'm going to show you how to eat the right food so that you have clearer skin. It's like, yes, please, right? If that's your issue. Or if anxiety is your issue, it's like, yes, please. I know I need that. I know I want that. So that's just how I want you to think about it. Kiana, I love it. Understand macros so that you can still have your Starbucks every day. Exactly. Right? Like that, I want that a lot more than just knowing. It's like, come on, I don't need to learn anything else. I don't want to bother with macros or calories or vegetables, okay? And it's like, you need that benefit, even if it's not money or pounds or whatever. It doesn't have to be that, but it's got to be really solving a pain point and putting something into their life that they actually do want and see value in. There's no way around that, right? Okay. Like just one more thing. For example, I don't know why I'm on the health thing. I've been talking to not too many, actually, I love it, but I've been talking to quite a few clients that do health stuff. And it's like, they're like, well, do people even is wanting to feel better enough? Not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, for me right now, where I'm at, I'm just out myself, and you guys can too. Like for me right now, health's not really about feeling better, because I think I feel fine, and I think I've got pretty clear skin, and I think the anxiety levels are low. But like, for me, it would be more about the weight loss side of things, or getting more fit or whatever, right? For other people, weight loss thing is not even, it's not crossing their mind. They want to feel better. They're feeling sluggish or tired or like shit. You know what I mean? And then that's their big pain point. See, that marketing would work on me. I love vegetables, target audience differences, I guess. But Adeline, let me say it this way. I think, what did I say? I said, eat the right combination of vegetables for your body. That could also be confusing, because what does for your body mean? You know what I mean? So like, the right combination of vegetables to, like, what is the, I mean, Adeline, maybe you might just are like, yeah, I want to know everything about vegetables ever. Actually, there's plenty of people like that too. But for your body can be very confusing for somebody who it depends on the target market. You might want to say for, I don't know, I'm not the expert there, obviously, but you get what I mean. For your body is a little broad and confusing. To skyrocket your business is a little broad and confusing. To feel better is broad and confusing. Unless they're like, that's what they're saying. If they're like, I want to know what to eat to just, my body's a mess. Or maybe, Evelyn, I don't know about you, but maybe it's somebody who just wants a high functioning body. I don't know, right? Different ideal client. Thank you, Jessica. You're awesome. Okay. Who it's for, you want to be very specific. So like Adeline's saying, if you were talking about learning anything and everything about vegetables, she actually might be interested. But for a lot of people, they wouldn't be. And so even though you are so passionate about, if you're the coach and you teach about vegetables, this is kind of a funny example, you could be so passionate about vegetables, and you could, so, and this is actually true, you could actually really believe that like one of the biggest changes that need to be made in this world is people eating more vegetables, and you just know the change that it could make if you got this out there. It doesn't mean it, okay, vegetables are for everyone, I think, but do you get what I mean? The product is not for everyone right now. This is the number one thing about audience, I think, is being really clear on where their mindset is, because buying is an emotional process, and somebody who is not in the right mindset of what you teach is not going to be ready to buy it, right? So for me, I'm not really in the right minds. I'm getting there, but like, as an example, like totally putting myself on blast, it's like, I'm actually not that interested in learning about vegetables right now from like a vitamin standpoint. I don't know, kind of, a little bit, not really. But like, there's other people who are like, I know that this is where I'm screwing myself, and I know that this is what I need help with. You just gotta think of like where they're at. My ideal client is like, you know, they've made money in some way or another before. They know what they have to offer is very valuable. They're ready to think big and go big and set big goals. Like that sort of thing. Like typically the people that work with me and the people that I speak to aren't like, I just want to scrape by. I don't really know if anyone's ever going to pay me for anything I have. Like, you got to think about the mindset, because typically for the way that I teach and the way that I talk, that person who's really stuck in that mindset isn't going to want to work with me yet, or ever, I don't know, or they're not going to really want to be in the program, right? I think just knowing where their mindset is really important. It's almost like, I don't know if you can sell to somebody who's clueless about the issue. You have to sell to somebody who's ready for what you have to offer, which makes it so much easier too. I'm so glad that you're here live. Okay. You want to know their pains, their struggles, their aggravation. So Jessica, like if you were talking to moms that are really short on time, like, come on, like what are their slip ups? This may not be for you, but like, sorry, Mom, but I know my mom would get angry really quick and as a child. And I know that she'd feel guilty about it too, because me and my mom would get in huge fights, and then she'd write me these long, lovely apology letters. Yeah, because she would just kind of have a freak out. But you know what I mean? That may or may not be your ideal client. Like, what is she doing that she's regretful of? What is she doing that she's aggravated at? What are her moments where she's like, the stub the toe moments, where she's like, oh my God, what the... What are those moments for your ideal client during the day where they feel like they just stubbed their toe? They're so annoyed and frustrated, right? for me in the beginning of my business, before I was making money and could really talk about that, my ideal client was ready to throw her computer out of the window. Those were her moments. It was trying to go through, back in the day when I did recommend MailChimp, she was trying to go through MailChimp, and it felt like such a pain in the ass. She was trying to build lead pages and work on WordPress, and she's so frustrated and overwhelmed, and she literally was so close to throwing her computer out of the window, right? That's what I talked about. I talked about those frustrating moments of trying to build your business and then just getting so lost in this technology and so frustrated and overwhelmed and stressed out. That's where my ideal client was at, right? Like my ideal client back then, she was an expert. She was bringing her career or her education or experience and another job to the table, and she knew she was an expert. That was not a problem, but the problem was she tried to build the business and just get really frustrated, right? But what's their desires? Back then for me, she really wanted to get over it and learn how to do it and outsource it. So I taught them how to outsource. I taught them how to figure out the easiest systems to use. I taught them how to wrap their head very simply around marketing. What else did I talk about back then? I taught them how to show up on social media, write good content. That's always been a thing of mine. I've always really liked that. Things like that, you know what I mean? And those were the things that she wanted. My ideal client at the time wasn't looking for 5-figure months. She wasn't looking for any of that. She was just looking to get her business started. Back then, a lot of my clients were talking to me on their lunch breaks. This was just a very, very part-time thing. Whereas now, I still have clients like that, but mostly my clients are already full-time in their business, even if they're like living off savings or things like that. Like they're all in, you know what I mean? Or they quit their jobs while working with me, but it's like, even though I helped them do that, like they were already planning on doing that. Like they're at that stage of like, nope, this is gonna be full-time for sure. Whereas back in the day, it was like, I just really wish I could just get this going, and then just a little bit off the ground. Like that was more of their desire. That was their wish. What are they saying? Like, I wish I could just. I wish I could just. Now my ideal client's like, I wish I could just fill out my programs. I wish I could just stop falling just short on my goals. I wish I could just have the 5-figure month. That's how they're feeling, right? I wish I could just finally raise my prices. I wish I could just finally start having more passive income. I think that's such a genius way to look at it. What are they like? Throwing their head back like, I wish I could just. Before it was like, I wish I could just figure out MailChimp. That was my ideal clients. I wish I could just, right? Okay. Then, if you have that, it's perfect to put on your sales pages. You can say, let me guess. You're sitting there at your computer thinking, I wish I could just figure out MailChimp. I wish I could just get this website done with. I wish I could just get that first client and prove that my business is gonna work. Or I wish I could just eat what I want to eat and not give up every social situation and still lose weight. I wish I could just figure out how to have balance. I wish I could just whatever, right? So I think that's really interesting to think about. And then this is kind of common sense, like what will they learn? What will they create? What are they going to learn in the program? What are they going to leave the program with? Pretty simple. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more water. What are you guys thinking? Keeping up? Loving it? Liking it? Hating it? Don't tell me if you're hating it. Break my heart. I before the live stream, I went around my house and I grabbed all the pretty much empty water bottles, and I was like, I'll just finish off all these water bottles during the live stream. I have OCD about that, about water bottles around the house. I'm like, Frankie will get mad because I'll find a water bottle like this. Oh, can you guys see it? And then instead of just drinking it, like he'll just drink anybody's water. I'll be like, or if I don't want to drink it if it's old either, even though if it's in a bottle, it's probably old. But I'll dump it in the dog's water or in the flowers. And he's like, stop wasting it. And I'm like, well, he'll combine them. I'm like, oh, don't combine them, gross. Okay, anyway, that's our life here. Laura's thinking that I need to that she needs to completely redesign her sales page. Jessica, you should never have kids if you don't like half-left bottles. I know, it's gonna, yeah. I'll be that mom that's very short-tempered, like, you stupid kid, stop it. I'll have my meltdown. I've actually been there before. Okay. It's like our little commercial break. Okay, I'm gonna finish this water bottle. I'm sorry. Okay. And I'm gonna throw it away. Okay. Let's get to it. Let's jump back in. Hopefully a lot of you are inspired to redo your sales pages and just get better at your posts and all of that. I love it. So this is really simple, guys. I don't think we need to go over a ton of this, to be honest. These are just ways to sell that I felt like I should write. When you're launching, you've got to do, I would say 2 or 3 of these, to be honest. For me, my big selling points actually another one in this I'll add in is funnels. Another one for this is webinars and challenges and master classes. There's so many ways. I know, Edelyn, I need to do that. I feel guilty every time I drink water. That sounds so sad. What are callers? Callers. That is spell check. Collabs. Collaborations. Good question, Jessica. Nope, that wasn't like a new hidden thing that we've never heard of. Collaborations. I think that's a really cool thing to do too. So for me, I do emails, posts, live streams. Those are the #1 ways that I sell. I do a little bit of selling through funnels. I do some selling through webinars, obviously challenges. But my big selling strategies are posting, emailing, live streaming, on the go, daily activities that I do. If you're more into the automation side of things, that's cool. Funnels are going to be really cool. Maybe an automated webinar, affiliates. If you're more old school sales strategies, sales calls. I love live chat on my sales page too. I think I've mentioned that to you yesterday, which is awesome. Obviously, sales page, I put that in there, but like you have to do something to get people to the sales page. But sometimes I don't even use a sales page and I just sell on emails, posts, live streams. You don't need a sales page to do that. You can have a sales page and it can help you, but it's a whole nother strategy, right? Selling in an email directly to a payment link is different than selling in an email directly to a sales page, right? It's a longer journey and you have to stay very aware of that. So those are just ways to sell. Let me know if any questions are coming up about that though. But really what I want you to know is that just pick 2 or 3 of these for your launch, plug them in. For me, when I'm in a launch, I'm like email, post, live stream every day during the launch. And then normally I email and I'll email 3 times a week, post daily, and then live stream 2 or 3 times a week. So it will go up when I'm like really selling. And I'm selling all the time, but I do set aside weeks where it's like I'm launching. And it's just a mindset thing for me. Launching is not meaning that I'm making money right now and never any other time. I'm selling almost every day. And making money a lot of days, to be honest, but not every day, to be honest. And but I do have weeks where I'm like, I'm launching, I'm head down selling. I'm not really working on other things. I'm putting all the energy into selling, not tweaking sales pages, not working on funnels in the background. You know what I mean? Like you really during a launch, you've got to take a break. It takes a lot of energy. It's like I am putting 90% of my energy this week into selling, which is true this week. No, because it's actually, you want to know what's interesting? People ask me this all the time and I always say it's random, but I just realized what it is. I create sales pages based off how many people I want in the program. So actually for my higher price things, a lot of the times, like if it's over $1,000, I don't make a sales page because it's like, I just need a couple people in it. And like in my mind, I'm like a couple of people, like 10 or less people, I know there's 10 fans in this group that are ready to buy something really valuable from me for $1,000. Like I don't really need a sales page, but if it's like, it's kind of funny, other people are backwards, but for like something that's $100, not always, but if I'm looking to sell something long-term to a lot of people or reuse it or things like that, I'll create a sales page. Because then again, I've sold a lot of trainings with just PayPal links in the past. So I guess it is a little random. But I will say, I just realized that I think in my head, it's more important to have a sales page when you want a lot of buyers versus when you want like to sell that one big 10K package or 1K package or whatever's big to you right now. Because like my Voxer program, I've had maybe like 14 or 15 people do that, which it was $797. Now it's $2,000 a month. Still don't have a sales page for that. Because it's like, it's not like super high ticket, but it kind of is. It's like if you want to do it or not. I'm not going to work with someone on Voxer, unlimited coaching support, if, you know what I mean? If they don't already know that they want to work with me. And I'm also not going to create a sales page for a $27 training that I don't even know if I'm going to run it again or what. That's just like me thinking out loud, because I always get asked that, and I don't know. It is slightly random for me, to be honest, unfortunately. And it's also like, am I launching it? So like this mastermind, I'm launching this, and it's something that's open a lot. But sometimes things are like, I'll launch it, but it'll be super short, like a couple of days, and I just know, my gut, it's going to fill out without it. Okay. Tips for good sales content. Always assume they've never heard of it, right? We talked about this. Always. These are all always. I'll put these in. I'm just going to start laughing at myself for saying number one all the time. The number one thing. Even though I say that, I go, oh, because I don't teach anything that's not important, I swear. So I'm always like, this is genius. This is the number one thing. I'm just making fun of myself. Some people might actually hate that, but okay. Always assume they never heard of it. Always connect to their pain and their pleasure. So always connect to that, I just stubbed my toe, and that I wish I could just. Always have those in your posts, your sales page, your emails. These are the things you always want to address. Always show that you're an expert. So you always need to bring to the table that you've been there, done that. And I say, not everyone, and I'm actually wish that this wasn't always true for me, but I have lived by this pretty much in my business. Always share the most near urgency. So today, for example, mastermind ends tomorrow. Today, one of the bonuses goes away. So I'm not going to really talk about, besides now an example, because I like to be open and give you guys real life examples. I'm not going to talk about tomorrow it ends. I might mention it a little bit, but the main point is like buy today, because the bonus goes away today and you don't want to miss out on that bonus. It's the same thing like how we talked about yesterday. I'll normally have bonuses and prices end on Fridays, and then the cart will close on a different Friday, so it's a couple weeks long. I don't focus on the cart's open for 3 more weeks. I'm like, get in by tomorrow, Friday, price is going up. You don't want to miss out. This is your last chance. Like, that's just my style. Cool. Any other sales questions? Because that's all I have for notes. Today was a little bit shorter, and we made it all the way through with one video. Knock on wood. This is a bit off topic, but what program or software do you use for your membership site? I actually host my course, my 5-figure Facebook group course, and my membership site content in Kajabi, which is a course platform. But my membership site is actually a mastermind, but we have a membership site to host content. So I'm not looking for a lot of engagement in the site. I'm just looking for a really organized place to hold all the content. So for me, my focus isn't let me create this really cool individualized platform for my business. It's like, let me just put this content somewhere that's password protected and easy to find and easy to use. And I think Kajabi is so easy to use for me. And I've had probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 people use my Kajabi sites between everything, and I've never had one single person ask how to use it, which is pretty cool. I've never had anyone complain. I've never had anyone ask. I've never had anyone like need any help at all. They've been able to log right in and figure it out, which I think is really cool. And I've never really had much tech issues with it either. I've had a couple, but it's always actually been my email software's fault and not Kajabi's fault, which is cool. Any other questions? I do want to tell you guys, of course, that I put the mastermind link in the, and I'll still answer questions, but I put the mastermind link in the description. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat if I can. Perfect. Unleash Mastermind, if you haven't heard, which I guess you should have because I told you guys the one-liner on here, but it's really for women who want to be honest, create a six-figure business. So you're not at six figures yet, you want to be, and you want to learn from somebody who's been there. I started, just to give you background, because I'm actually in a very transitional phase with where this is at, I started this program as a membership site, or I was calling it that, but then I realized that it's not really a membership site. We have a membership site to host tons and tons of training and content that you'll get your hands on, but this program is actually the number one way, and I actually mean that, to work with me in my business at this point, because one-on-one is totally full until I think I was saying the next 3 or 4 months. I need to actually figure that out, to be honest, but it's full for definitely 3 to 4 months. And then after that, I'm only taking a couple clients per quarter, if even that, just because it's not where my business is going. And then my group program, Six Figure Ambition, is probably going to take a transition as well and become a lot more passive and just course-based. This is going to be the way to actually get my hands on your business. And that sounds a little, yeah. So that's the way to get my hands on your business. That's the way to get my support. So not only are you getting weekly trainings that are saved in the membership site that are actually live, like this one, so you can show up, ask questions, and if you don't, it's no big deal because they're all saved and organized super well on our membership site. We also do a monthly group coaching call where you can get on the call with me. It's first come, first serve, but we've never had it where someone who wanted to go didn't have time to. They're about an hour or two long, and we actually might be adding more, hint, hint, in the future as the site grows and as we need more time together. And then on top of all of that, I think the most valuable piece of this mastermind is that there's a Facebook group community. You guys know I love Facebook groups. If you've been in here for more than a day, you should know that, where you can ask me questions, as many questions as you want about anything you want. You can pick my brain. You can ask about my business. You can ask me to look at something in your business. You can talk about what's not working in yours. You can celebrate. You can say, here's my goal. What do I do? Help me break this down. It's really, really cool because I can look at your landing page, tell you why your freebie's not working. Look at your sales page, glance at an email and give you some feedback. I can help you figure out if you want to have a 10K launch, what do you need to do that? If you want to have a webinar, what should your goals be for how many people to get on there? Give you some pitching tips. I have so much content as well that's like private on YouTube, stored away in my Google Drive that I've just been linking to nonstop. So it's really just my way of helping you guys and giving you exactly what you need when you need it, customized for you. Because I think I sent an email about this today. I don't know if any of you read it, but I think that's one of the issues that's happening in the coaching industry. So there's not, and I know some really great coaches that I love, and I have coaches that I love, and I have friends that are amazing as well. But I think there's a lot of people whose focus is working less, making more. Mine. And I think it's okay to be focused on that, but I think it can be really hard to find a coach who's very available and really cares about your business and has actually, to be honest, there's a lot of new coaches that are like that, but they haven't proven that they can keep up with it. A lot of them have been the ones that turn into like the scammers and the ones that, you know, get the cops called on them and get in all sorts of legal things, but that's a whole other story. But for me, I've been doing programs like this for a long time. This is it. This is going to be the program to be in if you want that kind of support. Otherwise, it's going to be hardly ever available anywhere else. And it's just epic, is what I have to say. And what I was trying to get to was that it's hard to find a coach like that who's available, who wants to look at your stuff, who's actually connected to your results, right? Like we're taught, like, don't connect yourself to your clients' results. Don't, you know, spend so much time doing stuff for them or looking at things for them or blah, blah, blah. And I think there's definitely a reason for that. But at the same time, I want to have a place in my business that is big yet exclusive, because this will become limited, of course. I can only keep up with so many people. But also affordable. So right now it's an insane price. Because I was marketing it as a membership site, you guys can get in for $600 for 6 months. When this opens back up, I don't know when that will be again, but when it opens back up and when we open it up for limited enrollment, it's going to be at least $500 a month. So now's the time to save your spot in the program. If you're already in it, if you're already in the 600-month thing, if you've been in it for a while, whatever, you're already grandfathered in at your price. If you join today or even tomorrow before the doors close, you'll be locked in at that price, which is really, really cool and also a little insane. But yeah, that's what I really wanted to share with you. I'm really, really excited. There's 2 epic bonuses. There is my 5-figure Facebook group course. It's an epic course. I sold that course alone for $497. It's available right now for $497 if you want it separate, but I don't know why you would. And then I have my Facebook ad workbook bundle, which is on the site for $297. It sells every month for $297, and it's really cool. It has the basics of Facebook ads and the advanced size of Facebook ads, 2 separate workbooks. You get them both immediately, along with immediate access to the course, immediate access to all the mastermind replay calls. We've had a ton of them so far, immediate access to the Facebook group, immediate access to me, and immediate access to everything to put in your calendar for upcoming calls. Anything else? I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but I doubt it. Okay, so that's the link, taylormanningcreative.com/mastermind. It's in the description. It's in the comments. And that one of those bonuses is going, I don't know if one of them or both of them, to be honest, I haven't decided. At least one, for sure, I promise, is going away tonight at midnight. So I would join today if you're thinking about it. I'm really excited. And then tomorrow it'll still be there, but you'll lose out on one of those bonuses. So join us. If you have any questions, by the way, too, because it's definitely a different program than from what is a lot of what's out there, just let me know. I feel like there's something else to say after that. Just let me know. And let me know. You can message me. You can comment here, whatever you need to do, but I would love to answer any questions. Plus, it helps me know what's not clear about it as well. So that's what I have to say. Go check it out. And also, guys, if you have any questions for me about this challenge, send me a message, post in the group, comment on one of the video replays. I'm checking back a ton to see what questions there are. I really, really hope that this challenge, and if you want to share your experience or ahas in the group as well, that'd mean the world to me. But my goal for this challenge was to help you just feel a little bit more empowered about launching and selling in your business. And whether you join the mastermind or not, I really hope that you've had some breakthroughs around selling and launching, because the key, here's my ending note. It's not prepared or anything, so let me figure it out. My ending note is really that you can do it however you want. There's no goal that's impossible for you. There's no one thing that you have to do. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be about doing more. More does not equal more sales. And there's people that need you. So it's your job to participate in this, and now to go out and do the work and rewatch these videos before tomorrow if you need to, and get more support if you need to, whether that's in the mastermind or not. But it's your job to get the help that you need to get this out there to people, so that you can have the thriving business, but so that you can change the world and help people with what you have to offer. Because I know if you are spending your time here and watching this, I know you have something worth selling. I know you have something worth coaching people on, or providing people with, or whatever it is. You have something worthy of so much money, and there's so many people that need it. So it's really cool, because you get to serve yourself by creating a thriving business that makes tons of money, which is awesome. But you also get to support others by changing their lives, changing their businesses, changing their health, changing their bodies, changing their relationships. There's just so much stuff that we do together here in combination in this group. It's so awesome. So I hope you had some breakthroughs. I hope this helped you. I wish it wasn't ending, because it's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I have another challenge possibly next month that I'm excited about too. It's going to be totally different though. But yeah, I'm excited. Thank you guys so much. I hadn't done a challenge in a while, and this was a lot of fun. So I appreciate all of you. Bye.